Hello, friends. Welcome back to Easy Talk English, the place where learning English feels easy and fun. Today, we're going to talk about something that many English learners feel but don't always understand, that shaking, trembling, or quivering voice when you try to speak English. You know that moment, right? When you open your mouth to say something, but your voice starts to shake a little, and you wonder, what's happening to me? Why can't I speak normally? Well, don't worry. You are not alone. And today we'll discover exactly why your voice quivers in English and, more importantly, how to stop it. Let's begin with a small question. Have you ever felt perfectly fine before speaking, but the moment someone says, "Can you introduce yourself in English?" suddenly your heart starts racing, your palms feel sweaty, and your voice becomes shaky? It's strange, isn't it? You know the words. You've practiced them. You've said them many times before, but when you have to say them out loud in front of others, something changes inside. That change, my friend, is not about English. It's about emotion. When you speak your native language, your brain feels safe. It knows the sounds, the grammar, the rhythm. But when you speak English, your brain moves into a different zone, the alert zone. It's the same feeling you get before an exam or before talking to someone important. Your body thinks, this is a challenge. So it activates your fight or flight system. That's when your heartbeat speeds up, your throat tightens, and your voice starts to shake. But here's the interesting part. Your voice quivers not because you're weak or unprepared. It quivers because your body is trying to help you. Yes, your brain is sending extra energy to your body so you can perform well. But instead of helping, that extra energy sometimes makes you nervous. So your voice shakes even though you know what to say. Isn't that fascinating? Let's think about it this way. Imagine you're holding a cup of coffee. If your hand shakes just a little, the coffee moves too. That doesn't mean you can't hold the cup. It just means your muscles have a little extra energy. The same thing happens with your voice. When your throat muscles get tight, your voice starts to move up and down. That's the quiver you feel. Now let's make this more real with a story. There was a student named Lucas. He loved English movies and music. He practiced every day and even dreamed of studying abroad. But every time he had to speak English in front of someone, his voice would shake. He once said, "It feels like my voice is not mine." Maybe you felt that too. But then Lucas learned something important. His voice wasn't shaking because he was bad at English. It was shaking because he cared too much about being perfect. Perfection. That's a big one, right? Many English learners think, I must speak without mistakes. I must sound like a native speaker. But that thought is heavy. It puts pressure on your mind and body, and pressure creates tension. Tension in your body becomes tension in your voice. That's when it starts to quiver. So, what did Lucas do? He started focusing on communication instead of perfection. He told himself, I just need to share my message. When he stopped worrying about every little mistake, his voice started to sound more natural. It still shook a little at first, but with time, it became strong and steady. And one day, he gave a presentation in English, confidently and proudly. You see, your voice is not just sound, it's emotion. It's your heart, your confidence, your courage. When you speak English with fear, your voice becomes small and shaky. But when you speak with purpose, with joy, your voice becomes powerful. Let me ask you this. When you speak English, what do you feel in your body? Do you feel your shoulders tighten? Does your throat close? Do you hold your breath? Most people do. But here's the simple secret. Breathing changes everything. When you breathe deeply before you speak, your brain receives a message. I'm safe. I'm calm. Your throat relaxes and your voice becomes stronger. Try it right now. Take a deep breath in and slowly breathe out. Again, in and out. Feel that calm? That's what your voice needs. Before you speak English, just take one small breath. It's like pressing a reset button for your body. Another reason your voice quivers is because your body forgets to support your sound. When you speak nervously, you use only your throat, not your whole body. But confident speakers use their chest, their breath, their energy. So next time, imagine your voice coming from your chest, not just your throat. Feel your words move with your breath. That small change will make your voice sound deeper and more stable. Now, let's talk about something most people don't notice, inner dialogue. The voice inside your head. When you're about to speak English, what does that voice say? Maybe it says, I'll make a mistake, or they will laugh at me, or my pronunciation is terrible. Those small thoughts have a big effect because your body listens to your thoughts. If your mind says, I'm scared, your body prepares for fear. But if your mind says, I can do this, your body relaxes. So start changing your inner voice. Before you speak, say something kind to yourself. Say, I'm learning. Say, it's okay if I'm not perfect. Say, I'm brave for trying. When your inner voice becomes kind, your real voice becomes steady. Now let's bring in a little curiosity. Did you know that even famous public speakers and actors have shaky voices sometimes? Yes, they practice breathing and body control, but they still feel that rush of nervous energy before they speak. The difference is they know it's normal. They use it as power. They say, this energy means I'm ready. You can do the same. When your voice starts to quiver, smile and think, this means I care. That one thought can transform fear into focus. There's a wonderful trick used by singers and actors to stop a shaking voice. It's called the grounding technique. When you feel your voice start to tremble, press your feet into the floor. Feel your body connected to the ground. Then breathe slowly and speak from your belly, not your throat. This gives your voice a strong base, like a tree with deep roots. Let's go back to Lucas. Before his big English presentation, he did something simple. He stood tall, took 2 deep breaths, smiled, and said quietly to himself, I am ready. Then he started speaking slowly, one sentence at a time. His voice was still a little nervous at the beginning, but after 1 minute, it became clear and confident. Why? Because he didn't fight his fear. He accepted it. And when you accept your fear, it loses its power. Sometimes we try to hide our nervousness. We think, I hope no one notices my shaking voice. But you know what? Most people don't even notice it. They are too busy listening to your message. And even if they notice, they understand because everyone has felt the same. Remember this, your quivering voice does not mean you are weak. It means you are brave enough to speak. Even when it's hard, it means you are growing, and growth always feels uncomfortable at first. Now let's add something rewarding. Imagine this. One day you're talking to someone in English, maybe in an interview, or while traveling, or meeting a new friend. You speak calmly. Your voice is clear. You feel proud. You walk away thinking, I did it. That day will come. Every time your voice shakes today, you are getting closer to that strong, confident voice of tomorrow. Sometimes your voice also quivers because you are too focused on how you sound instead of what you're saying. Try changing your focus. Instead of thinking, how is my pronunciation? Think, what message do I want to share? When your attention moves from me to message, your nervousness disappears. You don't need to sound like a native speaker. You need to sound like yourself, honest, kind, and real. People remember feelings, not accents. They remember your smile, not your mistakes. So speak from your heart and your voice will naturally become stronger. Here's a fun experiment you can try later. Record yourself speaking English for 1 minute. Don't aim for perfect, just speak. Then listen. You may notice your voice shaking a little. That's okay. The next day, record again. Do it every day for 1 week. You'll notice something amazing. Your voice becomes steadier each time. Why? Because your body learns through repetition. Practice teaches your voice that it's safe to speak. Speaking English is not just about grammar or vocabulary, it's about expressing who you are. And that's something to be proud of. So next time your voice quivers, don't say, oh no. Say, this is my courage speaking, because that's what it is. Let's take one last deep breath together. In and out. Good. Feel calm? That's how you prepare your voice. Always breathe, relax your shoulders, and smile. When you smile, your voice becomes warm and friendly. Try it. Smile right now and say hello. See, it already sounds different. You are learning a whole new language. That's an incredible thing. You are opening doors to new people, new ideas, and new worlds. So be patient with yourself. Your voice will get stronger, not by avoiding fear, but by walking through it. So remember, your voice quivers because you care, because you're human, and because you're brave enough to try. The more you practice, the less it shakes. And one day, it won't shake at all. It will shine. Thanks for watching Easy Talk English. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Keep practicing, and see you in the next video. Before you go, tell me, What situations make your voice quiver the most when you speak English? And what small step will you take this week to speak more confidently?